He arrives in the dead of night, when the world is silent and the shadows grow long. The air is thick with an eerie stillness, as if the very fabric of reality is holding its breath. A figure tall and imposing looms in the darkness. His face, obscured by the shadows, remains a mystery. The mere sight of him sends shivers down your spine, a primal fear taking hold. Yet one detail chills you to your core: the hat. A fedora, some say, others a wide-brimmed hat. It is a symbol of his presence, a mark that he has been there, watching, waiting. This is the Hat Man, a name whispered in fear, a legend that has persisted through the ages. He is more than just a figure. He is a presence that haunts the edges of our reality. Is pop culture possibly responsible for the emergence of the Hat Man phenomenon? Christopher French, a psychology professor at Goldsmiths University of London, said to courts, "This notion that you can be attacked when you're asleep, that's when you're vulnerable." And of course, Kruger wears a hat. However, the medical reasoning points to sleep paralysis. The first recorded case of sleep paralysis dates back to 1664, when a Dutch physician documented its occurrence in one of his patients. He wrote, "The devil lay upon her and held her down." Despite doctors' understanding of the underlying mechanisms, sleep paralysis remains mysterious because a cure has not been found. This has led some to argue that the phenomenon could be attributed to black magic, demons, mythical creatures, and encounters with entities such as the Hat Man. The Hat Man is seen during waking hours, including sightings at sunrise, indicating that visual hallucinations induced by sleep paralysis or waking from nightmares are not the only occasions he appears. This observation suggests that sleep paralysis may not be the sole explanation for these encounters. The Hat Man appears without bias. Individuals from diverse backgrounds have reported sightings of him, including both those who experienced childhood abuse and those who did not. His appearances are not limited to moments of intoxication. Sober individuals and non-users of drugs have also encountered him. Many regard him as the embodiment of evil, likening him to the devil himself, who does not discriminate. A consistent pattern in sightings of the Hat Man is his appearance during periods of personal crises and family turmoil. He seems to be attracted to feelings of fear, depression, and anxiety. Throughout centuries, civilizations across the globe have each had their interpretation of a sleep paralysis monster. However, it is undeniable that in modern times, the Hat Man phenomenon appears in various cultures and locations. The Hat Man leaves a strong but fleeting impression. He usually stands between 6 and 10 feet tall, appearing as either a solid shadow or a misty figure. His distinctive fedora-like hat and his eyes, which are either bright red or dark voids, contribute to his unsettling presence. The Hat Man is frequently observed in dimly lit rooms, typically during nighttime. This figure often manifests at the edges of one's vision or in the corners of rooms, intensifying feelings of unease and fear. Those who encounter the Hat Man often describe experiencing intense feelings of dread and fear. His presence exudes an aura of malevolence and often evokes a sense of impending danger. From the dusty annals of history to modern-day accounts, the Hat Man lingers. He is a constant presence, a figure that refuses to fade into obscurity. His presence is undeniable. He is there, in the shadows, watching. You can feel his eyes on you, even if you cannot see them. He is tall and gaunt, his features hidden by shadow. This description is eerily similar across different cultures, suggesting that the Hat Man is not just a figment of the imagination, but a real entity that has been witnessed by many. His hidden features add to his mystery, making him an enigma that continues to baffle and terrify. Those witnesses who caught sight of his eyes described them as glowing red or as deep pools of darkness. The hat is his defining characteristic, a symbol of fear and the unknown. It is a constant in all the stories, a detail that never changes. This hat is more than just an accessory. It is a part of his identity, a mark of his presence that leaves a lasting impression on those who encounter him. In recent years, the Hat Man has found a peculiar place on the internet. From being associated with the effects of Benadryl to becoming a villainous figure on TikTok, the Hat Man's presence has transcended folklore and entered the digital age. This chapter explores these modern interpretations and how they have shaped the Hat Man's legacy. Online communities have brought new life to the legend, with countless stories and videos depicting encounters with this shadowy figure. One particularly chilling trend involves users sharing their experiences after taking high doses of Benadryl, a common over-the-counter antihistamine. These individuals report seeing the Hat Man during their hallucinations, describing him in the same terrifying detail as historical accounts. This phenomenon has sparked debates about whether the Hat Man is a shared psychological experience or something more sinister. On platforms like TikTok, the Hat Man has evolved into a modern-day boogeyman. Short, eerie videos often feature the Hat Man lurking in the background, his presence amplified by the platform's viral nature. These clips, while sometimes playful, have a genuine undercurrent of fear, as users recount their own brushes with this enigmatic figure. The Hat Man's wide-brimmed hat and shadowy form have become iconic, instantly recognizable to anyone familiar with internet horror culture. Interestingly, the digital age has also allowed for a deeper exploration of the Hat Man's origins. With the rise of the internet, stories of encounters with this shadowy entity have proliferated. Online forums and social media platforms are filled with personal accounts and discussions about the Hat Man, creating a digital archive of fear and intrigue. Enthusiasts and researchers alike have used online archives to trace the figure's appearances throughout history, creating a more comprehensive picture of his enduring presence. This has led to new theories and interpretations, further cementing the Hat Man's status as a significant cultural phenomenon. As we continue to share our stories and experiences online, the Hat Man's legend grows. He is no longer confined to the whispered tales of the past. He is a digital specter, haunting our screens and our minds. The internet has given him a new realm to inhabit, where he can reach an even wider audience, spreading fear and fascination in equal measure. The Hat Man's journey from folklore to the internet is a testament to his lasting impact. He is a figure that adapts and evolves, finding new ways to terrify and intrigue us. Whether he is a mere hallucination or a malevolent entity, one thing is certain: the Hat Man is here to stay, lurking in the shadows of our digital world. The following was posted on drugs.com, and I quote, "What is the Benadryl Hat Man?" The Hat Man is a fictional figure that started appearing on certain internet sites in the early 2000s that has recently been referred to as the Benadryl Hat Man after reports of people hallucinating and citing him after overconsumption or abuse of Benadryl. Most of these reports have appeared on Reddit or the image-based bulletin site 4chan. The Hat Man has also been associated with abuse of any mind-altering substance taken to excess, and there is a mini documentary about him being associated with sleep paralysis on YouTube. High doses of Benadryl can cause heart arrhythmias, delirium, psychosis, seizures, coma, and death. End of quote. Some believe the answer to the Hat Man mystery lies within our own minds. Sleep paralysis, a terrifying condition where a person is aware of their surroundings but unable to move or speak, has been proposed as a possible explanation for these chilling encounters. Sleep paralysis theorist. During sleep paralysis, the line between dreams and reality blurs. The mind, caught between slumber and wakefulness, conjures up vivid hallucinations that often manifest as dark figures lurking in the shadows. The Hat Man, with his imposing stature and obscured features, fits the profile of these sleep paralysis demons perfectly. The symptoms of sleep paralysis, including feelings of dread, pressure on the chest, and the sensation of being watched, align eerily with many accounts of Hat Man encounters. It's plausible that these terrifying experiences, though very real to the individual, are nothing more than the mind playing tricks on itself. However, many who have encountered the Hat Man insist that their experience was no mere hallucination. They describe feeling a malevolent presence, a sense of dread that extends beyond the realm of sleep and into their waking hours. Could it be that the Hat Man is more than just a figment of our sleep-deprived minds? He is a figure that transcends time and culture, a symbol of the unknown that continues to captivate and terrify us. He continues to haunt our world, appearing in bedrooms, hallways, and at the edge of our vision. His appearances are not limited to any specific location or time period, making him a universal figure of dread. Some theorize that the Hat Man is an interdimensional being, a demon, or even the devil. Others speculate that he could be an astral projection. Given his documented appearances throughout history, I lean towards the belief that he is a demonic entity, evidenced by his enduring association with glowing red eyes over centuries. One chilling account comes from the early 1900s, where a young woman in London reported seeing a tall, shadowy figure lurking outside her window. She described the figure in great detail, noting its eerie stillness and the palpable sense of malevolence it exuded. The figure, she claimed, wore a wide-brimmed hat that obscured its face. This hat, a distinctive feature, has been a consistent element in countless other sightings, adding to the mystery and fear surrounding the Hat Man. Similar sightings were reported throughout the Victorian era, fueling whispered tales of Spring-Heeled Jack, a shadowy entity with glowing eyes and a fondness for terrorizing London's citizens. These stories, passed down through generations, have cemented the Hat Man's place in the collective consciousness. In the 20th century, sightings of the Hat Man took on a more modern, yet equally unsettling tone. As society advanced, so did the settings of these encounters, with the Hat Man appearing in places like hospitals and train stations. The Hat Man continues to be a source of terror and fascination. His appearances have not waned with time. If anything, they have become more frequent and widespread, as if he is adapting to the modern world. The consistency of these sightings, across time and cultures, is difficult to ignore. They suggest that the Hat Man is more than just a figment of our imaginations. The sheer number of accounts, coupled with the striking similarities between them, points to a real phenomenon that defies easy explanation. He is a real phenomenon, a terrifying entity that walks among us, unseen, until he chooses to reveal himself. His ability to remain hidden, only to appear when least expected, makes him all the more frightening, a constant reminder of the unknown lurking in the shadows. If you enjoyed this video, please support this channel by liking, subscribing, and commenting. Thank you very much.